Obanai Serpent breathing from Demon Slayer Hashira training. Slow at the minute. What, we're about 3-4 episodes in? Yeah, nothing. It's like they're building. They're just like waiting. We're waiting. They're training. It's good though. Landscape page, pencil eraser. Hit pause if I go too fast. So this is like kind of a complicated enough pose. So there's a hand, there's like a cloak with stripes. So let's go. Landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause if I go too fast. We're going to start with his eye. So we got his big yellow eye first. So we'll go here. Curving. We'll get the main shape in first. Curving that way. And then it goes back down, around, in towards the tear duct sort of area, which is like here. You want to add a bit of weight or thickness to this eyelid line. So it goes back, spikes up a little at the back, and then comes down. And to there. There's like an extra line, it seems, just around here. I'm just going to color that black. And sometimes in Demon Slayer they add like an extra little sort of line coming off there. So with yellow eye, so just going around here. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. Demon Slayer tends to do sort of angles kind of like this, you know. So it doesn't have to be perfect circle. And then the pupil in the middle. And this eye seems to have another sort of shape around it. It's like a golden section or something, rather than yellow. And his eyelid line just here. And the eyebrow just above that. I'll just make it thicker at the front. And most of that eyebrow goes underneath his hair. Okay, so we can't really see, well, so he's got like a long fringe, but we'll kind of make it up. So we'll go with the nose first, carving there. A lot of this is covered, and then in Demon Slayer they add a little bend on the nose there with a bit of a darker shadow, like that, sort of on the tip of the nose as well. So a curved L sort of shape. And then his nostril going that way. And this nose line generally touches the eyebrow. Right? So the eyebrow's kind of here somewhere, going up, because we're in sort of 3/4 pose. Different shape to the other side. Going more that way. Then that iris just in here, diagonally down, curving around here. The middle of his, sorry, not iris, what did I say? His eyelid line. That's that curved line there. And then the bottom, curving around, goes into his tear duct. Somewhere in there. And what we want to do again is add some weight to the top, to the eyelashes, making them quite heavy. Heavy lines. A little spike on the end, like the other side, and then it joins the bottom. So iris green, curving around here, and this one is like just shaded, sort of green and light green, so there's no pupil or anything inside. It's just color, pure color. He's got like an eye line just there, and an eyelid line at the top. So no mouth, right? We can't see his mouth. We can see his chin. Like this little sort of V sort of line there. And then this goes like this way, around and up the side of the head, and it'll disappear eventually underneath his hair, somewhere up here. Right, so this sort of mask or bandage sort of comes across the face, covers his mouth, and there's all these bandage lines on this. Sort of overlapping lines like so. So his hair, right? So his hair sort of covers some of what we've drawn, right? So you gotta be brave and just start going across his face for the fringe that comes across his nose. Square ends to these hair spikes. Going up this way. So that's that one, and then it's all like hair around his shoulder. So we got like a shoulder bump somewhere. So like here. This comes down beside his face. Becomes the sort of face line as well. And it sort of bumps down this way. So we got like more hair sticking out here. This going up. Just keep adding all these hair spikes, kind of like that. Well, they're not so much spikes, they're kind of square ends to them. There's like a real bumpy part here. And then they seem to come down the side of his head. The other part of his fringe. There. Come across his face. Okay, that's his hair pretty much, and it's shaded sort of black and grey a bit. So we have a snake wrapped around his neck, right? So it curves around here and disappears under his chin, sort of in there. And then his collar. And the snake has like little scales and stuff like that, right? So this hand is kind of flying back that way, but this one is like in front. So there's like a hand here kind of floating. Well, it's attached to him, but we will draw it kind of floating at first. So say like this sleeve comes down to about there, just underneath the snake. And then we start with the thumb. Coming out this, and your thumb, when it's outstretched, joins the index finger, right? So we're bumping around knuckles and stuff, and then around the back of the finger, like that, right? So thumb joins index, and the bottom of the thumb then, and palm of the hand curving around that way. So in 3 more fingers that go here towards the palm of the hand, right? So you always have 2 sort of knuckles on your fingers, 1, 2, and then 3 little segments, curved lines like that. And we just do the same thing on this side. 2, 3. The little finger. Like so. Okay, so that's the rough sketch of his hand. Right, so his sleeve and arm goes back this way, right? So you can see like his big sort of dark cloak sleeve. There's all stripes on all these, but I'll draw them all together. It's just everything's covered in stripes, right? So this kind of goes off this way. And the bottom of it goes in behind there, right? So that's like the opening for his cloak. Well, there's a closed part here. So that's like the opening. And then his arm goes that way. And then he has a white sleeve. Like that. And then there's like a series of bumps for his like shoulder and everything. So like this goes back around there. And we have another bump line here. Like, and the black lines like go up and down, kind of like, you know, if you've ever seen a freshly mowed lawn, you know, it has all those lines that follow the shape of the ground, sort of. And like all black lines here. And it looks like he's a piece of flowing cloak just coming out here. And it goes behind like some energy, sort of serpent, sort of snake, sort of energy here. So I'll just put that in. It's like purple energy there. So his chest comes out from behind the cloak on this side, so it goes down sort of disappears off the page down there. And we can see like his body, like his chest muscles, and then a belt. Belt coming around here. Just a little buckle in here. Just some of the details on the belt. Like coming around, another holds his sword onto his waist. Well, the scabbard part. Now it's kind of bendy. Comes down there. Right, and then button there and there underneath, and then this the closed sort of part bumps down. You'll have some pulled lines on the fabric. Like that. So cloak comes down behind the sword, and then his arm is like up here. So there seems to be another sort of part of his sort of jacket sort of going that way, cloak or jacket. And then his arm, baggy sort of sleeve here. Seems to come out behind another section, which goes down there. Okay. And then there's like a change in direction in the black lines. So there's black lines that go that way and then across. Just the pattern on his cloak. So his sleeve is out here. And then the white sleeve there. And his hand is holding the sword, right? So say they just drawing sort of the back of his hand here. It's kind of like, it's real bumpy, maybe some knuckles. And then the sword, right? So the bottom of it is there. So this is kind of tricky, right? Because it's this wavy, bendy kind of sword. So it kind of snakes its way down. And that comes to a point sort of down there somewhere. Ugh. Wait, that's a bit skinny. So we'll go, yeah, there is a middle line anyway, so more this way, right? And there is a middle line that comes down the sword, say here. So that could be what that is. Right, kind of like that. So you gotta like do the scabbard that sort of connects the hand to the sword here now, the sort of the hand protector plate sort of a thing. It's like an oval. Just there. And then it has a bit of an edge. Like that. And then we should be able to see a little bit at the bottom of like the palm of his hand, just put it here maybe. And then the handle of the sword. So it goes, that would go this way, I think. And then has a bit of a golden cap. Some lines on there like that. It's a very short, foreshortened handle. A bit more cloak, and then we'll add sort of energy and the snake and everything. So a little bit more of his cloak sticking out here. Oh yeah, and there's like a bottom part here, but it goes behind all this serpent breathing stuff, so that goes down there. Right, so we'll add the snake and then we'll do just like serpent breathing energy lines. So snake kind of comes, like wraps around, comes out from behind his head somewhere, like whoosh, come out anywhere at all. So say we'll just do a sort of twisty line there, and then this will be like the head, so a bump, and then the sort of snout. Right, so then the mouth is kind of open here, bumping around. I would say behind his hair a little bit there. It's like a jaw. And then there's like fangs here. No fangs on the bottom or a tongue. I don't know if that's intentional or a mistake. I doubt they'd make a mistake like that. So maybe he just, his tongue goes back or something in the mouth. Is it just me? Or maybe does snake not have a tongue? Cat, there's one in the picture, so. And then kind of the belly comes back down this way. And red snake eye. So the side of it there. Thin eye and nostril here as well. And then there may be like some scales, kind of similar to what's down here, just like so. And then there's all these twisty, bendy snake energy lines. So basically, and they can be kind of scratchy around the edges if you want. Right, so very twisty, turny. Some big ones in the corner maybe. All in the background. There's a big one there, coming out from behind the snake. And you could keep adding these, and they're kind of like glowing sort of purple sort of energy lines, and you can do as much as you want really. Comes all around his body and everything. Okay, but just have to add all the black lines, and yeah, so black lines all just go down wrap around his body. And that's it then. Add a bit of colour. Hope it's helpful. Serpent breathing. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.